I am here with Tim Gamont, who's a senior director.
Cancel. Can we start again?
Yes, tell me how to pronounce
It's
your last name.
Gomo.
What is it?
Gomo.
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 Awesome. And
I
is it
forgot to tell you
director?
that.
Is it director or senior director?
Senior director.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have told you that right
No,
away.
no.
I don't want anyone else to say it wrong.
Let's get it right for the record.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm here with Senior Director of Product Management at Oracle, Tim Gomo. He's taken a few minutes out to talk about his awesome area of account recs, some other financial consolidation related things. So welcome to Kscope. Which Kscope is this for you?
Thanks, Edward. This would be number 4 for me. Joined Oracle 8 years ago, kind of got my feet wet in the first couple, and now I'm presenting 2 or 3 times and really love it. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Nashville. It's been a great conference for you so far.
Been awesome, yeah. Great energy. Love coming to this. Yeah.
Awesome. In terms of your area, account reconciliation, you're obviously here sharing the good message, helping people understand what's been done. For people that weren't able to be here in Nashville, can you condense down to like 2 minutes or less?
Sure.
What are those awesome highlights? What's been the big changes over the last year?
Biggest thing for us is we want to make the financial close faster, streamlined, less busy work, more analytical. So many of our accountants are super smart people, and we find them ticking and tying and spreadsheets and color coding and all these things that we want to change. So my focus on the account reconciliation side is, some people, it's not the sexiest thing, but it is a very expensive thing if you're doing it manually. So many of our customers are still using spreadsheets. I know it's 2024. You would think they would have a tool, a purpose-built tool like EPM account reconciliation to help them with this very painful process, but they don't. They're still using Excel. So, we replace competitors as well, of course, but for the most part, people are still using Excel. So the big thing for us is let's automate this. Let's allow our customers to free up their time and work on value-added tasks, grow the business instead of ticking and tying in spreadsheets and spending all their time whittling away that. So, big highlights for us is just more automation in transaction matching. Just on Sunday, actually, we talked about our enhanced artificial intelligence that we're adding to the transaction matching piece. It's really a natural fit. We've always had a great rules engine to match these transactions and clear up this data for our users. But now with artificial intelligence, it's even smarter. We don't even need rules. We can actually have the engine recognize the matches without anybody even programming a rule. So it's pretty cool stuff there. And just more around less maintenance, get people to the exceptions quicker and faster so they're not spending their time where they shouldn't be.
So I doubt any accounting or finance department ever sat around and said, what should be our key enabling technology? How about Microsoft Excel? But to your point, a ton of them ended up in that world. Yes. You'll get it out of their cold dead hands, but you got to use it for what it does right? It's a viewer to grids of information. It's not meant to be a reconciliation tool, a matching tool.
Right.
Computers are better at that than humans are.
Yes, absolutely.
But how do they get started? How do they get out of that and into the automated world?
Yeah, great question. So I've had a lot of customers that have made their first journey to the cloud with account reconciliation, actually, because it is a nice confined process that you can define and simply lift out of the Excel world and into the cloud. But to get started, really, it really depends where they are. If they're coming from a competitor, which we've replaced a lot of competitors in this space, it's actually a really simple transition because they've kind of already defined the process. We're just going to do it our way, and obviously I like our way better than the competitor's way. So that's pretty straightforward for those customers. For the ones that are using spreadsheets today, it really comes down to what do you want to accomplish. Some of them have an established reconciliation policy, others don't. I would always recommend starting with some policy that your auditors sign off on. Say, high-risk reconciliations are done by workday 5, medium is workday 15, and so on. So you have some starting point, some goal that you want to get to. And then, a lot of customers will take that and implement a phased approach. We talked about transaction matching. A great example is I got a lot of pain points in my cash reconciliations. Let's solve that first. Let's show all of our other users who maybe don't work on cash that we've had success, and now they want to bring on their reconciliations, right? So it doesn't have to be a big bang. Like I said, a lot of customers, it's even their first journey to the cloud. You mentioned the cold dead hands spreadsheets. That is so true. So we want people to be comfortable with it, and you want to champion in your company that has done this, that says, my life is now better. I don't have to work until 8 p.m. with my rainbow colored spreadsheet. I'm having the EPM cloud do this work for me. So
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of cases we're roughly doing reconciliations the same way cavemen used to determine if this rock looked like this rock,
Yeah,
right? They hold it up and go, ugh, rock A looked like rock B.
With
And
some macros behind it
Yeah,
that
exactly.
nobody knows how they work, but
Yeah.
you do. But what if you get hit by a bus? Well, that's a problem. So.
yeah, well, there's spreadsheets named after someone that no longer works there and they can't
All the
change it.
time.
Yeah.
The most common scenario is, yes, somebody owns the spreadsheet and they retire or go to a different department and nobody knows how this thing works. So you should know your financial data. You should be reconciling that. And if you don't, how is your company making good decisions, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a case of, I think people are really embracing the idea of letting AI take that over because no one has fun doing it, right?
No, it's not a lot
And a
of fun.
computer never complains. So.
Right, absolutely. Crunch the numbers.
So in terms of artificial intelligence, I know that's a big focus for the next 12 months,
Absolutely.
with the obvious, hashtag safe harbor.
Right.
Can you give us a peek into some of the things we're going to be getting over the next year?
So for us, again, it's just we've put many enhancements in place to try to eliminate the minutia. Load data on a schedule, match on a schedule, auto reconcile whatever you can, and present the user with just the exceptions. Just deal with the outliers. And what we're trying to do with all of this is free up their time to improve the process in the first place. Because if you're living and working till 8 p.m. every night, just getting the core work done, and you don't have time to improve the process, it's never going to get better. So we've been always trying to implement these features that help with that. And AI is a gigantic enabler to make that even better. I already mentioned eliminating rules configuration within transaction matching. We have success already in our proof of concepts where we can recognize transactions that should be matched and either present that to the user as an option and they can accept it, or just automatically match it with no rules involved. So that's a big one. Another one is, one of our maintenance items is new code combinations come in every month. Might be 10, could be 1,000 if you bring in a new business, and these code combinations have to be reconciled. Are they part of a rec that already someone is doing? Does it need to be a new person, a new reconciliation? It's this whole reconciliation maintenance cycle that happens a lot, and we're using ML to actually automatically assign new incoming code combinations. Nobody has to do any more work, no mappings and data integration, no setting up new profiles, because there's a lot that goes into it. There's preparers, reviewers, risk ratings, formats. There's about 15 to 20 different attributes you have to assign to get it right. So we're using machine learning there to just predict what that new code combination, how it should be reconciled. We've got about 92% success rate there. Really happy with that. I mean, that takes away 92% of the work that someone was doing manually today. The remaining 8%, maybe it's a one-off. They, still do a little bit of configuration there, but really excited about that as well.
Yeah, I always felt that of all of the EPM cloud solutions, account reconciliation is the most immediate hard ROI.
That's another reason people love to put that in the cloud first, because you can see success right away. You can have those internal champions, and it's a pretty confined process. You can keep it just there. It doesn't affect consolidation necessarily, or even anything else in EPM cloud. You can really go live with just that if you want to, and then grow later.
Awesome. At any size of company, I mean, everyone's reconciling.
Yep.
It's small, it's mid-size, it's enterprise. Before we wrap up, I've got to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Glamping, where do you get started?
Glamping. Well, glamping happens when you like camping, but your wife doesn't like camping, and kids. Well, I shouldn't say that. They like camping, but they want to make sure they're comfortable, right? We all do. Yeah, so glamping really is, you want to get outdoors, you want to do something fun, but you also want to be very comfortable. So you buy a big trailer that has a generator, and your kids have little USB ports they can plug their phones into once a day, not all day.
Oh, good.
And that's glamping because you're still having fun, you're still outside, but you're very comfortable.
Yeah, a somewhat digital detox.
Yes, as much as possible.
Once a day charge.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
I will see you, and we will see all of our viewers online at KScope 25 in Dallas, Texas.